And it's the same thing. Like, if you sleep with a bunch of men for 10 years, how does he know that you're going to stop when he marries you? Like, you are who your habits, and the one thing that men value is loyalty. Like, they want a girl that's down for them no matter what, like through the ups and the downs, especially now, because if they get married to you, like, they're in a contract that you are paid to leave. So it's we have less incentive for men to get married.
Or he might be paid to leave.
No, not really.
Yeah.
Very rare.
Rare. It's only men only win 13% of alimony cases.
It doesn't matter, but
And
if you marry
It's only
me,
13%.
you might be paid to leave.
Wait, it's only 13%?
And child support is very little too. I think it's under 90. So I mean, you could talk about the exception, but we're talking about the rule. So if you're a hoe for 10 years, how does he know you're going to be loyal? It's just like the same thing. Like, if he cheated in every single relationship he'd ever been in, I would think,
He's going to cheat.
he's probably going to cheat. So if she's
A girl who doesn't have sex with a lot of men, typically quirky, typically nice, typically easy to talk to, fun to be around. A girl who has sex with a lot of men starts developing all these unrealistic standards. like they start to develop all this like just unapproachable qualities and traits. It's hard to talk to her. It's hard to please her. It's hard to satisfy her because she's had it all. How can you please a rich person with a dinner and he didn't eat everywhere? Or she?
So I have a question for you. Do you believe that you are your habits?
That I am my habit?
Yeah, like you become your habits.
No.
So you don't believe that the person you are is it's what you do. So like if you work hard every day, that you're a hardworking person. If you're nice every day, then you're a nice person.
I can work hard every day,
And be lazy?
I'm saying you don't have to be lazy. I don't, but the thing is that I don't categorize things. I don't I'm a hard worker. I
Okay.
work very, very hard.
Uh-huh.
But that doesn't make me who I am. Okay?
Uh-huh.
It doesn't
What
make
makes
me,
you who you are?
I'm just me. I'm like, my
So,
father.
I am a millionaire.
I'm not a millionaire yet.
No, I'm not actually. I'm saying, can I just say it? Like, and then I am.
I'm saying
I don't
it's
have to have the $1
called,
million to be a
what is it
millionaire.
What is it called,
Actually,
Maria?
there are websites that say I am. I'm like,
I'm
there.
manifesting my truth.
What?
I'm manifesting my truth, so I will be a millionaire soon.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
But I'm not right now. But I am a hard worker. But that is not just who I am. I'm not just a hard worker.
I didn't say just, but okay. So if you're a hard worker, how are you a hard worker?
I just make shit happen.
How? By what?
However, I make things happen.
But I'm saying, like, you have to work hard to be a hard worker.
Yes, but that doesn't make me who, that is not just who I am. I'm not just.
I didn't say that was the
Okay,
only
so
thing.
just
I
go to
did
your
say-
point, because I don't understand what you're trying to say.
I think you do understand. I think
know.
you're just trying to not, but it's okay.
And trying to
know.
But okay, your habits are who you are. So if I drink every day, I'm an alcoholic, right? If I do drugs every day, I'm a drug addict.
Yeah.
I didn't say I could be a nice drug addict. I could have more than one quality. And it's the same thing. Like, if you sleep with a bunch of men for 10 years, how does he know that you're going to stop when he marries you? Like, you are who your habits. And the one thing that men value is loyalty. Like, they want a girl that's down for them no matter what, like through the ups and the downs, especially now, because if they get married to you, like, they're in a contract that you are paid to leave. So we have less incentive for men to get
Or
married.
he might be paid to leave.
No, not really.
Yeah.
Very rare.
Rare. Men only win 13% of alimony cases.
It doesn't matter, but
And-
if you marry
It's only
me,
13%.
you might be paid to leave.
Wait, it's only 13%?
And child support is very little too. I think it's under 90. So I mean, you could talk about the exception, but we're talking about the rule. So if you're a hoe for 10 years, how does he know you're going to be loyal? It's just like the same thing. Like, if he cheated in every single relationship he'd ever been in, I would think,
He's going to cheat.
he's probably going to cheat. So if she's been a hoe for 10 years, how does he know you won't get bored and go back to the streets?
And with his facts.
She's in the streets. It's a difference. Because if I'm a prostitute and I'm having sex with people and I'm hoeing, because that's a thing, right? That's different. But if I want to have sex with different men, It's my choice.
Yo, some women don't even know that they're a prostitute. You understand that? Some women don't know and don't believe that they're a prostitute. They're getting paid
Well, they're getting paid.
with experience instead of actual physical cash to realistically be lured in and have sex.
Oh my gosh, you know what I asked guys on the street? I said, would you rather have, like, you got two girls. One has $50,000 in credit card debt that you have to pay off, and one has 50 bodies. Who you picking? They all said the debt.
I'll pay the debt.
They all, so I was like, each body is worth at least $1,000. And I try to up it. I'm like, I wonder how high it'll go until they switch.
I take 100. I swear to God.
At what number would you switch it? So it's $100,000 you have to pay off for 50 bodies. Like, what number do you switch it?
Bro, honestly, it don't really matter. Listen, I didn't especially if you went to college, if you went to college and you don't do that career, was like, let's say if that's what $100,000-$200,000 on average.
Yeah.
For you to do a different job.
No, she broke. She's never paying it off.
No.
You have to pay off all of it.
What I'm saying is, I still owe that money. Right? Whether or not I graduate, I still owe that money. So I'm going at least $250,000. At least $250,000. If I could give the government $250,000 for a degree that I don't use, I'll go with $250,000 in debt for a girl with less than 50 bodies.
But that's...
Bro, 50 bodies? You know how hard it was for me to get 50 bodies? Me. So like, if you have 50 bodies, I'm like, yo, you're bugging. Absolutely not. And that shit don't even look the same. There's no way after 50 bodies your shit look the same. And you know what I'm talking about.
She must not be taking care of
It
it.
don't matter what you take care of. You got 50 bodies, 20 of them was raw. Because 9 times out of 10, if you're already exposing yourself like that, you're not even really caring about condoms.
Well, and it's like at 50 bodies, like, men don't want to deal with our trauma. So, like, even Andrew Tate talks about he doesn't really like women under the age of 25, and people were so offended by that
That's
statement.
kinda weird to me.
And no, look, I get it, because look, I mean, I'm almost 26, and so it's like. It's like every relationship we go through, we have trauma that comes with it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, by the time you're 25, you've probably had your heart broken, and who has to deal with that? Your husband. And it's like,
Why you gotta deal with that?
because we're women, we don't shut up.
I just
I love
and
Pearl
let's just
so
let's
much.
just be real. You're not gonna tell them anything. Like, what are you gonna just and then if you don't tell them anything, that's not really good either, because men don't like a girl that's not vulnerable. Like, being part of being feminine is being open and vulnerable with them.
I'm not feminine, that's why.
Yeah, I mean, probably not.
Yeah.
And I don't.
Yeah. Listen, I agree with you, bro. Like, what's it? Like, Pearl's my homie. Like, after today, me and Pearl gonna be on a call. Like, Pearl, can I talk to you real quick? Like, they said I need a therapist. I think I just need you. Like, because I know I'm not bugging. I just need somebody to understand what I'm trying to say.
And that's why women don't want to have certain conversations with people, because we have people like you guys talking about, oh, if you do this, you're a hoe. If you do this, you're a hoe. If you do this, you're a hoe. So it's like, when are we ever going to be able to be vulnerable and talk about what we want to, like, if I want to be able...
Mistakes,
Why is that a mistake? You don't know. You don't know
let me
everyone's
tell you
life.
something. If I said to you,
You don't know everyone's life.
But like, that's like me complaining, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's like me complaining, like, yo, I got felonies. I'm not a criminal.
My body count has not affected anyone else. Okay, you might think my pussy looks differently.
Feels differently.
I don't know, because I could tell you I have 3 kids and my pussy's tight. Okay, and there are women that have one.
You don't have.
There are women that had one. Okay, and are out here and only have one husband, and they shit is.
It's not about what you did and who you affected. Realistically, you affected yourself, because you yourself, and I believe, when you have a lot of men who are inside of you, you change, you carry baggage, you might carry self-resentment, you might carry identity issues. These are things that usually lead you to a path of having so much sex. You might have been in a position where you were financially struggling and you used your body to gain yourself out of that struggle, right? There's a bunch of different reasons. But what I'm saying is, at the end of the day, is it's not fair for people in general to ask people to forgive them for their past, but they're not willing to forgive others for theirs.
But everyone has a choice. Just like you have the choice to not want a woman with a certain body count, You know what I'm saying?
But that's
that is your
reality.
choice. But that is
No, Lonnie, that is most men's choices. You already limited yourself.
Let me tell you
about
something.
10 to 20.
Most men are living with a woman that's body count is not what they think it is. Okay, number one.
That's
And
the
guess
point,
what?
Pablo.
They have taken them. It's not necessarily the point. Maybe they didn't ask. Maybe they didn't ask. So it's. I'm just saying, everyone is entitled to their choice. Okay.
So then, if everyone's entitled to your choice, like, why do you keep arguing with him?
I'm not. We're trying to. I'm giving my point.
Yeah.
Okay. Everyone's entitled. If he's
No, but
if
he keeps saying like this is our choice, and then you keep saying, well, it shouldn't be your choice. I don't know.
No,
why
he
that
didn't
is.
say. This is the first
It's
time that.
most men's
Number
choices.
one, he said it's most men's choices,
Yeah.
and I said everyone's entitled to their choice.
But this is not a choice.
But the thing is that you don't have to come here and say, "Oh, you've been a slut."
Why not? It was your choice to be a slut. It's my choice to not want a slut.
You don't get to categorize me or anyone,
This is-
and I'm not saying this
you
is
don't
my
want a
personal
experience.
experience, but I'm just saying you don't categorize people.
Women don't want consequences, and this is the thing. Like, we're so used to being bailed out of poor decisions, like, because women are bailed out of everything, literally. Like, if you wanna get pregnant, if you get pregnant by the wrong, no, actually, I'll start first. If you sleep around, what do you have? Birth control. If you sleep around and you get pregnant, anyways, you have an abortion. If you sleep around and you get pregnant by the right guy, you know, you can put him on child support. If you sleep around and get pregnant, you can trap him and, you know, get married, take half. Also, you know, and women are just so used to being bailed out of every decision that, like, we can't handle the truth. And, like, that's the consequence. You sleep around, you're a slut. Like, that is what it is.
Yeah, you call.
It's like calling a spade a spade.
And then we can't do that. But when a
But
man
honestly,
does it.
honestly, women are all hoes by 1950s standards. Like, they said, like, honestly, they were like, you slept with two men? Two men?
men, that's
And guys
crazy.
today are like, please, under five, guys.
I'm at a point where I'm trying to be realistic. I'm just under 10 or if you 25 or more, under 15. But like, because you gotta think about it. At the end of the day, and here's the other thing: men are not dumb. Women are not dumb. People are listening to each other, right? If you tell me you had 15 bodies, I gotta add an extra 5 because there's 5 that you don't count. There's 5 that didn't put it down. There's 5 that lasted a minute. There's 5 that you didn't really like. So they don't. So now your 15 is really 20.
Okay.
And it's like, yo, we don't ever get the truth. And then and you know what? I have a daughter, right? Mm-hmm. And been doing a lot of studying, right, on psychology and people and lying. And they say that kids first learn that they cannot trust. I don't mean to spoil anybody's, you know, thing. Kids learn that they cannot trust their parents when they find out that the holidays are not really real. Santa Claus, Easter Bunny, and Tooth Fairy, okay? Mm-hmm. So now, for a man, I take that basic principle, that basic concept, and apply it to life, right? And it's like, well, how can a man trust a woman who can't be honest with her past? And then when you really, really dig deep, it's like men have to make exceptions for women on a daily basis.
They do.
And I do think you're right. Like, I don't necessarily agree that all men can, like, tell off the bat what a woman's body count is, because we can all think of that friend that, like, no one would ever know, or that girl. I think of, like, girls on my team. But the thing is, like, a girl sleeping around, it hurts herself. It's not necessarily, like, because you're just more likely to leave. It's hard for those girls to stay, and that's what I asked my mom this question, because I always like to ask, like, the older generation just to see their, you know, and I asked her, I'm like, your hoe friends. my mom's like, I don't have any. but and I was like, oh. But I was like, okay.
Oh.
And I was like, mom. But, like, what happens to the girls that, like, from your high school or whatever, that, like, every, like, town bicycler, is that what they called it back in the day, or whatever? And she's like, no, I was like, would they still get married? And she would say yes, but they were the first divorced. But now, like, those women probably aren't even going to get married, because 50% of women that hit 30 are single and childless, and then they're saying that, like, there's going to be such a rise in, like, single women, that there's more single women that are going to be homeless, there's going to be more more single women on benefits, and 50% of women between the ages like of marriageable age between the age of 20 and 25 and 45 are going to be single and childless. So much that like JP Morgan is investing in like cat food, dog food, wine, etc.
That's crazy. I got mad kids.
Wow, and
Is that a real thing?
Yeah. I mean, like that's 50% of women that hit 30 are single and childless.
White women.
No, women.
No. In America, right? In America.
If you're gonna do marriage rates like by race, I want to say it's like Asians have it the best, then white, like the highest marriage rates, like Asian women, then white women.
Over Indian, really?
I think Asian is like Indian is included in Asian because that's
Okay.
part of Asia, right?
Gotcha.
I could be.
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, on the continent wise, yeah.
Yeah. But so it's like Asians on top, and then second white, and then I think it's Hispanic, then black, in terms of the marriage rates in the U.S. anyway.
And the U.S. is so terrible that and you know this is just great to even talk about. The average single parent household in the world, excluding the U.S., is 8%. Okay, the U.S. is 24%. This was as of 2019. So
24%, 1 in 4.
yeah, 24%. So now, basically, 1 in 4 kids grow up without a parent.
And I'd be curious what percent like are divorced parents too.
So they're asking, what is the reason?
Well, the reason is I think that there's a lot of different norms that are trying to be pushed, right?
I agree.
And I think that's the reason. One of the norms is that women can sleep with whoever they want and how many men that they want. That's one of the reasons. You know what I'm saying? And I think that is detrimental because at the end of the day, no man wants to take care of a woman that has a lot of bodies. I don't care what anybody says. But
I mean, I just think it's like women batting out of their league a lot, and they just get pregnant by the guy that they can't lock down. That's what I think.
that's
I
another
think
thing.
I think it's like the 4s, 5s, 6s trying to lock down the 8s, 9s, and 10s, and they get pregnant by them because half of the time like they weren't even in a relationship.
Yeah.
That I see anyway.
And that's another thing. So I was gonna go and
Yeah.
like to piggyback off of that. We're talking about what are women desiring. The women are desiring the man with the money, right? There's on the Shade Room. I forgot her name. She posted, "Don't marry for love, marry for money." Well, guess what? There's only 15% that make over 6 figures, and only like 7% that make over. What's it called? 250,000. So now, what do you marry? There's not a lot of options. So you're sharing men, right? But then again, on the same token, men can't have more than one woman. But there's only about 28% of men in America make up 100% of the kids in America. So,
oh really? I didn't know that stat.
So now you got
I used that one.
about 30%. You got about 30% of women, right? I mean,
28.
so yeah,
Whew.
30% rounding up, right? 30% of the men make up 100% of the kids. That means women don't want 70% of the men.